Back on the trail, today we head north of familiar territory to explore a new area. And while it is spring, most of the trail is still covered in snow, making some of the hill climbs and cross ditches a bit more of a challenge. And to add on to that, our evening trip runs deep into the night as we push forwards with the new lights. How well do our new lights perform? Well, you're just going to have to watch and find out. So let's get started. What is up, and welcome back everyone to the spring in Alberta. Well, it's supposed to be spring, but as you can tell, there's still a lot of snow on the ground, so it's supposed to be spring wheeling, and it's definitely more winter and ice wheeling. So we thought we'd come out here and enjoy the last little bit of winter wheeling before it all turns to mud and we avoid the trails for a couple weeks. So obviously we've got Austin in the Jeep, we got me in the Forester, and we got a new vehicle. We got a Bronco Sport, Jen's Bronco Sport. So we're actually in a pretty new area. We've been here quite a few times, but we haven't gone as far as we're going to be going today. Last time we were here, we were camping down here doing our coldest winter camping ever. We're not going to be camping today. As I said, we're just going to be doing some trail wheeling, but we're actually going to be heading up and kind of around this area and seeing what we can find. I don't know what to expect. Austin doesn't know what to expect. We're just kind of going and seeing what we can find, because as I said, it is kind of icy and it is kind of snowy, so if it turns too icy on the hills, we can't make it up the hills and we're not going to try. So we're just going to see what we're able to find, and I thought I'd take you guys along, so let's go ahead and hit the trail. So as I said, we are quite familiar with this area actually. We have been winter camping here multiple times. This was actually the place I took my Subaru Forester the second time ever we went camping, and then I did my coldest ever winter camping just down here. And then this is also an area that we've come out of when we were pushing the Forester limits. We actually just went over that little mountain range over there and then came out right here where we're going by right now. So this is a pretty familiar area, but it's a lot of it's been unexplored by us. So as I said, we've done a lot of this area and we've done a lot of this main road that we're driving on right now. That's probably why we're not filming this, is because you guys have seen this. If you want to go check this area out, go check out those videos. We got plenty of those. So that area has been explored, but over in this direction is where we haven't gone before. So we've kind of gone along this road camping, but what we're going to do today is we're going to keep on going. We're going to keep on going and seeing if we can do this whole trail. It's kind of a big loop trail that kind of goes around or by a lake, so we're going to see if we're able to do it. As I said, we really don't know what the trails look like. We were expecting it to be a little more dry and a little more spring, because this is late March, almost and early April, so usually you're able to it's mud season right now, but because we've had so much snowpack and because it is still pretty cold out, it's just taking forever to melt. So we are kind of on the fence of what we'll find today and if we'll even get to go on the all the way around the trail. So let's go ahead and find out. The first part of the trail was nothing more than a snow-covered path that snaked through the trees and eventually met up with the riverside. With the center mound packed down and the tire tracks in the snow, we could keep up a pretty good pace as we drove towards the mountains and away from the last little bit of civilization. But it wasn't long before the snow-covered path diverted from the river and started making its way uphill, where the trail dramatically changed. What was once a snow-covered trail now had a thick layer of ice on one side and a layer of alternating mud and dirt on the other. Which, while possibly making it a challenge for the open diffs, posed no issues to the Forester. Although it wasn't like that for long, as we made our way back down the other side and once crossing the bridge back on ground level. Now, back down, we once again met up with the river and moved through the trees to our next obstacle. Well, that first section was pure ice. As you can see, we're back on the flat surface, but where we were with the hill, and one side was like muddy and the other side was just pure ice. When I got out to set up the camera, it was like I was on a skating rink. So that doesn't lead us or make us very hopeful for the next couple sections, because these next couple sections get a little bit spicier. They are some pretty good steep hills, and if they're coated in ice like that, there's no way we're getting up there. Chains would have been good. The Bronco's got studded tires. It honestly probably would just do our show, both me and Austin, up. But if you can't get all three vehicles up, you can't go that way. So we're gonna try it obviously and see what it's like. We're not even there yet. Maybe it's facing the right way, that it's got enough sun in it, it's actually melted, but we'll see as we keep on moving forwards. But as you can see, it's pretty much the same kind of like very treed, very, well, kind of rough. I got these tires aired down right down to like 18.6 again, and we just float along here. It makes such a huge difference when these tires are aired down. Did you go left or right?
It's a mystery. You have to guess which one.
But as I said, that first section wasn't really that hard. We just had to keep the one side in the mud, and we still had traction, while the other kind of just played around on the ice. And even in the ice, with these tires aired down to where they are, as I mentioned, they still have a pretty good amount of grip, because it's not like, it's not Ghost Lake ice where it's super slick. It's got more of a texture, so when these tires are aired down, we still have a fair amount of traction. Whether we'll see that at our next obstacle, we will have to see, but we'll keep on moving and see when we get there. Well, we made it to the ice hill, and there's Austin
crushing it.
making it to the top, so it can't be that bad. It's like halfway up is just pure ice. Then we got a little bit of rock, and then we got a plateau, and then some more ice. So if he made it up, we should be able to make it up no problem. So let's go give it a try. So my plan with the open diff and the non-studded tires is just to get a little bit of momentum. I'm gonna try about 30-40 kilometers an hour and see how that carries us up there. As soon as we get past the icy spot, then we can start getting traction. But as you guys know, if I lose traction on both the front and rear axle, I have no way of keeping on moving. So the momentum is gonna be key on just keeping me moving up that hill. So that's the plan, and we're gonna see if it works. So let's try it. With no studs and an open diff, this wasn't an optimal situation. As we've done time and time again, we would put our momentum to good use. So, with 30 kilometers of speed, we hit the hill. And with a bit of spinning on the icy side, we climbed up with no issues and continued along our way. Here, the center mount became much more prominent as we scraped the skid plates over and over again. As we made our way up and down the much smaller hills. And because these hills never got as much sunlight as the ones before, the snow was still tacky, allowing us to make light work of it all. But now, on the easier sections of trail, we now had something else to contend with, the lack of light as the sun set. And well, as you can tell, it's getting dark out, but we made it over the hardest obstacle, that slippery hill. As I said, I did about 30-40, and we kind of just climbed over it and made it up no problems. That right side was kind of kicking snow because it was a loose side, but we were able to keep enough momentum that it kind of just climbed up. So as you guys can probably tell now, we're just going kind of up and down, and this is the first time I get to try these new Hella 4000 lights on this car, which is awesome because they are so much better than the 500s. I am going to use those 500s in something. I'm not going to tell you guys what though, but just these 4000s, these two 4000s, amazing. They're the Eurobeam, so I do have a nice fair amount of spread, but I have a lot of range. I'm looking down here in this valley right now because we're letting Jen and the Bronco go ahead of us, and Obviously the LED lights and that are incredible, but I am pointing way out there and having no issues. So we're just gonna keep on going here, slowly making our way. As I said, it's more just up and down hills. So just keeping it slow down the hills and crawling up the hills. If we need more momentum, we grab it. But yeah, great test on these lights, as well as just a kind of a nice day. It's snowing a little bit now, but it's still like 1 degree out, so the snow's nice and tacky and we're getting grip. But what we're gonna do is just continue on this trail. As I said, it's pretty much just up and downs now, so we'll just kind of cruise along this trail, enjoy it while we can. We still got a little bit of light, but not much, so we'll enjoy the little last bit of light as we kind of move through this trail, and then I'll either catch up to you at the end of this trail, or if we find another hard obstacle, but I think we're in the clear now. So we kept pushing through the darkness, going up one side of the hill, hill after hill, to go back down the other. And well, as I said, the new lights and their combined 200 watts of power made it easy to see the trail ahead and the center mound as I kept scraping on it. But still, the trail wasn't hard as we kept moving, well, until we had to do a little recovery. We were like probably 500 meters to a kilometer to the trailhead, and Austin just tried this hill because there's a bypass. Might as well try it, right? See how it goes. And he slid into a snowbank. That's what happens when you're playing around, right? But what we've done is, I'm gonna winch him out, but I'm not here. We've kind of done a snatch block setup on the tree just over there, and then I am right here, so we're gonna kind of pull him towards this tree and hopefully get him out of this snowdrift. So let's see how this goes. With the winch line snatched to the tree, I started pulling Austin, but not with a little bit of a fight as my car started to slide forwards, just to stop and finally move the Jeep. And with a little more careful winching, we pulled him right out for him to get on the hill and go back down onto the main trail. Here, we had one more small hill climb, and what was usually a V-notch in the summer, but now filled with snow. And with that little bit of extra traction from the snow, the Forester crawled right through and to the end of the trail. And there, well, we go. We made it back to the trailhead or to the road and got the Forester all aired up. I don't know about you guys, let me know how you like this video, but I think I'm gonna call this winter wheeling. Winter wheeling at night might be one of my favorite things to do now. It was a lot of fun. As you saw, we just got a little bit of snow and it's at perfect temperature. It's like 1-2 degrees. So maybe it is spring wheeling because usually we don't get those temperatures in winter, but it was a perfect weather for it. As you guys saw, Austin got stuck. The Bronco didn't get stuck, but it's incredible that Bronco, what it's able to do. It was going through that last little section of snow that I just got out of. And it dug right in and then just made it through. As you saw, I had to take a different line and I made it through, but in a completely different manner. Also, my tires are a lot more for the snow than the Broncos are. But yeah, that was it. As I said, this is a new trail. We haven't done this before, so another trail to check off on our list and another one we can kind of maybe come to as we see fit. But I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did today, and that is gonna be it. So peace out and stay humble.